Hey, 8th grade, your module today is about Pythagorean theorem. Let's see if we can try two questions together to get you started today. It says, is a triangle with side lengths square roots of 13, 12, and 10 a right triangle? Remember, to determine if it's a right triangle, it has to follow our theorem. A squared plus b squared has to equal c squared. Remember, the A and the B can be interchanged, but C has to be your longest side. So if we're taking a look at our three sides here, can you think about which one's going to be your longest? Okay, that's automatically going to be the 12 squared if you were thinking that, because remember, if we square a square root, we basically undo it. So the square root of 13 squared is just 13, plus 10 squared, which of course is 100, equals c squared, so 12 is our longest, which is 144. Equal? Definitely not. So this one is not a right triangle. All right, let's try number 2. This one's a little more tricky and similar to what you might see on the EOG. The dimensions of a box that is a rectangular prism are 3 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. What is the length of the diagonal from point R to point S to the nearest tenth of an inch? Well, you got to look at how the diagonal is going across the inside of the box. So that's kind of tricky. They gave you a little clue over here in this bubble. It says, what is the length of the hypotenuse of the base? How can you use this length to help you solve the problem? So you do have to make sure you're seeing something here, that the hypotenuse of the base makes a right triangle. So that is what you've got to figure out. So in order to do that, we're going to need to figure out another missing side. So take a look at this triangle right here. All right, do you see that we have a right triangle in red, 6, 3, and something? That's what we need right there for the right triangle. So it's going to take 2 steps. So here's our legs, A, B, and C will be right here. So let's kind of use this space down here. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So 6 squared plus 3 squared equals C squared. So that would be 6 times 6, 3 times 3. That will give us 45 and c squared. Remember, the opposite of squaring is taking the square root. So the square root is about 6.7. And of course, you can use your calculator to help you. But let's fill in that 6.7 right here. So this c, or this missing leg right here, is 6.7. Okay, so now we're going to use that to help us get our answer. So we now have a new right triangle using that value. So this side right here, remember I get it from here, this 4. And now I'm looking for a new hypotenuse. So let's set up another Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And now I'm going to use 4 squared plus 6.7 squared equals c squared. So 4 times 4. Okay, and then 6.7 squared is about 44.89. Okay, add those together, and I get 60.89. And then final step, of course, is to square root. And that will give us about, or approximately, letter C there, 7.8. And again, you can use a calculator to help you. And of course, the reasonable answer also is 7.8 if we're approximating the perfect squares. All right, to give the other questions a try and try that weight ground game, let's see how you do.